Welcome to your first lesson on Adobe Animate. The first thing you're going to need is this reference chart right here. And looking at it, you can see that there are different positions of the timing for when the ball is going to bounce at certain points. So we're going to do a forward bouncing ball for this project. And I've given you where the ball should be at what keyframe in order for it to look a little more realistic, and also what shape it might be to give you kind of that squash and stretch look. So this ball is has a little more softness to it. It's not as rigid like a bowling ball. So you can see when it's supposed to stretch and when it's supposed to squash when it hits the ground here. And so this is going to be your reference as you work on this project. So let's jump over to Animate. You have your screen here. If you open a new one, you can pick whatever size screen you want for this project. Any ratio works. I just did a square 1:1 ratio. And I would say you may want it to be a little longer since it's a forward bouncing ball. Let me see, let's look at our timing chart. Unless you want it squashed a little more and come off the screen. So I'm actually gonna have my ball start right up here somewhere. One thing I like to do is add a layer, and this layer is going to be my timing chart that I can kind of follow along. So I know I want frame 1 to be here, and I'm gonna keep my timing chart open up here a little bit so I can see it. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing here. So I've got frame 1. I'm just using the paintbrush really quick. I want it to fall down along this line, bounce back up, probably more than halfway. I'm going to make mine a little skinnier. And then I want it to bounce again. That. And again. And again. Now, it might be more ideal, like I said, if you did a ratio with a wider format screen. 1080 HD is fine, anything like that. But this still fits my whole bounce 4 times. So I'm going to do frame 1 up here, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, and you can see it's spaced out. The further apart between animations that I get, the faster the animation's going to go. So you can see it's gaining speed. They're stretching out further quickly. It's going to slow down when it hits the ground and bounce back up right here. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and squash right there. Stretch back up here. 18, 19, 20, 21. Each of these will be an individual drawing of the ball. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So my ball will go off the edge here, and it'll also start off the edge. You may use the paintbrush to draw a ball, but we're pretty good with working with vector shapes now after using our Illustrator. So you can just make a circle shape, and that can be your ball. And oh, I'm sorry, before you even do that, I want my ball to be on a different layer. So this is my timeline layer. I'm going to double click this timeline. This is my pink background. And then I'm going to add one more layer. So we're just going to go over here to this plus, new layer. And this is where I'm going to put the ball. I want the ball to be on a separate layer. And I think about that big is what I want to do. And if you want to change the color of your ball, you just come over here and click your colors, and you can do whatever color you want. I'm just going to keep mine what it was. And then you'll see here, since I've drawn on frame 1, on layer 3, I'm going to call this my ball layer. I'm going to go on to frame 2, and I just select this selector because I'm going to be moving this ball around after I add another keyframe. So you go to frame 2. If you stretch out your timeline, you can see it's not letting me zoom, but you can see this is a 5, so 4, 3, 2. This is frame 2. If I select this one, I know I'm on frame 2, and I'm going to add a new frame. Now I'm also going to make sure my onion skin is turned on, and you can see if I'm hovering over it, it's like the 2 little circles, onion skin. I want to be able to see the ball as it moves, where it would be before and after I place it, and it'll just kind of help me. So since I've already copied and made a new frame, you can see I have the one previously where it was and where the new one's going to go. Then I'm going to go to frame 3, and I'm going to insert a keyframe. It'll take what I already have and copy it. Then I can move it. So by inserting a keyframe, it copies what you have before. If you by mistake click insert blank keyframe, it won't copy what you have before, and you'll just have that. And just so you guys know, you can hide your timeline layer with that eyeball and see what it's looking like. I'm going to go back to this frame here, and you can see here I added a blank keyframe. I don't want that, so I'm going to Command Z that, like, dude. Okay, so back to this frame. I'm going to insert a blank keyframe. I'm also going to make sure my timeline lasts longer. So to do that, you just insert frames. Boop, 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 boop. If you hover over it, it'll show you, oh, I don't remember what the hotkey was for that one. Insert. It doesn't give you the hotkey. It might be just plus. Nope. Well, for now, just do exactly what I just showed you. If you need to make your timeline, I would make your timeline last till the end, which you had like 25 frames. So grab this, click on insert frame, make sure your background timeline lasts long enough so you can see what you're doing. And then you can drag your onion skin out to last as long as you want. So you could see in front of it as many frames as you want, or behind. Or you can just make it so you see only one. It's however you want to do it. So I'm going to go back to, now I'm on frame 5. Insert keyframe. Oop. Move it. Frame 6. Insert keyframe. Move it. Frame 7. Insert keyframe. Move it. But this time I want it to start stretching at this point. If I go back and look at my timeline here, you can see it starts to stretch here, and I can even go back and stretch this one just a tad. So I'm going to go back to frame 6 and grab this selector tool, and that allows you to stretch it a little bit. If you go to the corner, you can rotate a little. I only want a teeny tiny bit. Now I go back to frame 7, stretch some more, rotate, squash a little. Make sure I'm trying to stay consistent with the amount of mass this ball is. I don't want it to be like stretched so much that it's like too much, and I didn't have that much ball to begin with. So be careful of that. And then when you go to this frame, you're going to make sure, copy that, insert keyframe, and I want it to actually be going this way now. around right about there. I may even want to adjust this one up just a little bit. And if you want to see what it looks like so far without the onion skin, because you can see I'm seeing multiple at a time. If I don't want to see the onion skin, turn it off. I'm going to hide my timeline. I'm going to hit play. I have my first bounce. So you're going to continue this process for going up every keyframe until you get to 31. So it looks like I didn't make my timeline long enough. Let's turn that back on. Go to 31. There we go. And you'll just keep going. Click on a frame, insert a keyframe so it duplicates it, move it up, get it back to that circular shape. I'm going to turn my onion skin back on so I can see what size I had before. I want to make it close to this one as I can. So you're going to continue this process till you're done. Then when you are ready to export, I'll show you the process. There we go. So say you're done. You can delete this timeline layer if you're completely done, instead of just hiding it. Okay, that's looking all right. It's getting there. Pretend I went all the way. And then you're going to do File, Export, Export Movie. And you're going to, change my mind. I don't want you guys to do movie. You're going to do File, Export, Export Video. And you can have it be an H.264. You want to, I have mine being a 720 by 720. Yours might be a longer width than height and not square. That's okay. So just leave it whatever settings you had. Do the entire movie. Keep it in H.264 and make sure it goes into your folder wherever your stuff is. If it's not going straight to where you want it to, click on the browse and you can open it up like this if you need to. Oh, there's my folder. I could drop it into my animation folder. Create a folder for animation, however you want to organize your files. And then click save and then click export. And if I were to go into, it will pop up media encoder and it will auto run it through media encoder to turn it into a MP4. I forgot that step. It shouldn't take long, and if for some reason media encoder is not loaded on your computer, just let me know. Click OK. Alright. Looks like it already did it for me. I forgot to save my file as I was working on it, so it gave it the file name as untitled. But I can open it up. Alright, there it is. Boop. Not too exciting. It splats right now. It doesn't go up as far. So yours needs to go the whole entire way, bounce 4 times, and then you can submit it. Feel free to get creative and add a little bit more to yours. Maybe have it roll at the end. Maybe have some splashes. Feel free to add more layers and do extra things if you have the time. I love it when you guys get creative. So there you go. Sorry I'm not there. The last thing, if you want to save the actual Animate file and not just export, I would do this while you're working on it or right when you start so you can save as you go. Do a save as before you export, just so you have the working file. An Animate file is a .fla, and then when you're finished with your project, it should be a .mp4, a video file. So I'm gonna name this Ball Bounce Practice, and I'll put it in my folder. Save. Okay, sweet. So now I have both my MP4 and my Animate file to work on.